Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Dapr community call. It's November 2026, the 26th of the 2025, actually. I'm Mark Duiker, your host, one of the Dapr community managers, but I'm not hosting alone this time because with me is one of the Dapr mediators. Welcome, Santosh. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's nice because usually we haven't really co-hosted with other Dapper meteors yet, so it's the first time that we're doing this. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Can you give like a brief introduction of yourself because maybe the audience doesn't know you yet?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm Santosh. I'm currently working as a principal software engineering manager at Microsoft. I have 17 years of experience, 15 years working with Microsoft. I've worked in India, China, and then moved to US. It's been like my eighth year here in US. Yeah, so my involvement with the Dapper, I love the Dapper. I've been a community member. I've been following it very closely, using it in almost all my personal projects. Recently, I've written a book on Aspire, .NET Aspire. Now they changed it to Aspire, and I've used Dapper dedicatedly within my application, which I wrote in the book. And I've been seeing Dapper grow like from the day when it was started within Microsoft, and then it went open source, and it graduated from sandbox all the way to graduating within CNCF. So the growth has been phenomenal, and happy to be part of the show and happy to be a data meteor.
Super great. Yeah, so you've been following Dapper and using Dapper for quite a while now. That's really great to see. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my friend in 2018, he introduced me this Dapper, and he said that hey, there is this cool book. I think it was written by Yaron. So
Oh
I
yeah.
went ahead
Yes.
and read that, and after that, I've been following very closely.
Very nice. All right. Okay. Well, let's continue. Before we go to the agenda, shout out to Digrid for help us sponsoring all of our streaming software because we're streaming to YouTube, which is the best place to watch it because you can also engage with us. Also streaming to LinkedIn, and we are streaming to X as well. So today on the agenda is the steering technical committee election this year. I'll briefly touch that. Then there will be a Dapr case study by Atlan, is given by Mustafa, and then there's the regular section about the community show and tell. So let's start with the Steering Technical Committee Election 2025. So, what is that? Well, Dapr is a CNCF project, and all CNCF projects they have a steering and technical committee, and that committee actually decides the future of the project, right? Because there's no like single owner of the project. It's a group of people, people from all different organizations, and together they decide on the future of Dapr. And you are a committee member for 2 years, and those 2 years have passed now. So now everyone can vote on these new committee members. So you can do that by going to this link, and I will share this also in the chat as well. Where's the link? Here we go. Copy. So if you go to this link, you can actually read all the candidate profiles. You can actually see if you're eligible to vote. It actually gives like some label at the top to see if you're eligible to vote. If you're not eligible to vote, you can ask for an exception. You can do that via the Dapr Discord, and then of course you can also vote via this application. So yeah, please do this. It's important that we have like a good and diverse steering committee. So yeah, please vote for the Dapr STC. All right, then it's time for the Dapr case study. So we are welcoming Mustafa to the stage. Welcome, Mustafa.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. So I think you're already sharing your screen, so I'll remove my screen share and I'll enable your screen share, and then you're good to go.
All right. Hey everyone. So I'm super excited to be here. My name is Mustafa, and I work on the apps framework team at Atlan. My team focuses on building the core platform that enables internal teams, partners, and enterprise customers to build apps on top of Atlan. Today, I'll be sharing how we use Dapr within our apps framework, the challenges we faced, the contributions we have made back to the community, and where we see this partnership going. Before we get into the technical pieces, Let me quickly tell you what Atlan is. Atlan is an AI native metadata platform used by modern data teams to understand, govern, and activate their data. The simplest way to explain it is GitHub is for developers, Figma is for designers, and Atlan is for data teams. We empower hundreds of companies globally, and we are recognized as a leader in multiple Gartner reports. Our ecosystem is growing rapidly, and that demand for extensibility is what led us to build the apps framework. So let's talk about the apps framework because that's really the foundation for how Dapr fits in. The Atlan Apps framework is the core infrastructure enabling extensibility and innovation across Atlan and our entire ecosystem. It allows internal Atlan teams, enterprise customers, and partners to build apps that integrate deeply with the Atlan's metadata, extend governance workflows, embed UI inside Atlan, or even run standalone. And underneath, the framework provides standardized APIs, a unified runtime, SDKs, and developer tooling, UI extension points, and reusable components. So the goal is simple: let developers focus on solving real business problems and not infrastructure. So when we started designing this framework, we had a set of principles in mind, and that's what led us to Dapr. So why we chose Dapr, right? So when we evaluated how to power this framework, Dapr aligned incredibly well with our core principles. So it provided cloud agnostic components, language agnostic integration, the pluggable architecture, the strong credential and configuration management, built-in observability, ability to support both real-time and batch workloads, and easy upstream contribution model. And something that's very important for us at Atlan. We strongly believe in open source. As a company, we actively contribute to open source ecosystems like Argo, NuaFlow, and Apache Atlas. And Dapr fit naturally into that philosophy. Now, let's look at how this partnership actually materializes inside the apps framework. At the heart of the framework, Dapr acts as our abstraction layer for infrastructure capabilities. So instead of every app developer worrying about where secrets are stored, how state is persisted, how to upload artifacts, or how to handle concurrency, we expose simple SDKs that internally use Dapr components. This gives us a consistent, secure, and scalable foundation that developers can rely on, whether they are building internally at Atlan or externally as partners. So let me show you the specific Dapr use cases inside Atlan today. Here are the core Dapr capabilities we use inside Atlan today. Secret stores. So we use secret store to securely manage credentials across environments, the local, partner, and enterprise deployments. The state store, abstracting state persistence for apps stored in object store through our unified layer. Then comes the object store, the handling of artifacts, configurations, and large payloads consistently across clouds. Distributed locking, ensuring safe concurrency and coordination between app instances. Event delivery via bindings, for emitting structured events to downstream systems or storage. What this gives us is a consistent, reliable platform layer that every app, whether built internally or by partners, can rely on without reinventing infrastructure. But of course, adopting Dapr at this scale wasn't completely smooth. As we started using Dapr more deeply, we hit a few friction points. One major example was distributed locking. We wanted to use Dapr locking component with Redis Sentinel, but it wasn't supported, which blocked our production use cases. So we contributed support for Redis Sentinel, got it merged, and it was released in Dapr 1.14 version, all thanks to the Dapr community. We also contributed a few other PRs, for security patches to the CLI, improvements to logging around scheduler and placement services, and documentation updates. So as Atlan serves enterprise customers, we have to make sure that we do not expose any security vulnerability. And through our investigation, we found that there were few security gaps in Atlan CLI, and we contributed back to Dapr's repositories, and we fixed those things. And similarly, you can see that these are the PRs that have been merged, And this has been a great bi-directional relationship where we benefit from Dapr and also help strengthen the ecosystem. And we also expect to increase this partnership by contributing more at Dapr's repositories and to build more building blocks for Dapr and to allow us to make more custom building blocks for ourselves. So what's next? We are just getting started. Going forward, we are exploring and like getting our hands dirty and leveraging the new Dapr agents model, deeper integration opportunities, and continuing to contribute where we see gaps. We want to keep this a strong partnership where both Atlan and the Dapr community grow together. So we truly believe that an open, extensible ecosystem benefits everyone, and we're excited to keep pushing this forward. I think that should be it from my end. Thank you so much for listening, and I'd love to take any questions if you have.
Thank you very much, Mustafa. Yeah, that's so. Personally, I don't know Atlan, so could you maybe share a bit more on how people actually develop applications on your platform? Is it like a UI based thing where you can connect to other stuff, or is it like also code involved? Because I'm curious. So what did you do on your end to integrate with all of the Dapr APIs?
Yeah. So we have built an application SDK, which is the underlying core infrastructure layer, the abstraction layer that we provide on top of our ecosystem. On that, we are able to provide abstractions so that anybody can build an app on top of apps framework, be it a connector app, be it let's say an AI native app, or let's say we are building something creative and we help them to build that app. So with apps framework, we have enabled all the consumers of that SDK to make sure that they can build the app the way they want. So let the creativity be the only challenge, not the underlying infrastructure.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so you're providing like an extra layer that then wraps the Dapr SDKs in it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And that app framework is that available in like multiple languages then as well?
Okay. So currently we have developed the SDK in Python because that's the most used language.
Yeah, in data, of course. Yeah, makes sense.
And we are planning to extend it to more languages as we move forward.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, yeah, and then then it also explains why the interest in Dapr agents is there, right? Since that's also a Python library built on top of Dapr and Dapr workflow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, very good. I don't see any other questions from the audience, but yeah, thanks for sharing this. Yeah, and I think as soon as you have done something with the Dapr agents, we will invite you back so you can share that.
Yep, sure. I think we are getting our hands a bit dirty, so we are experimenting, and we are also looking forward to doing more contributions and exploring more what Dapr is to have.
Nice, yeah, definitely very good to hear that you've been contributing in it, and of course, people always run into issues, but it's great that you actually helped fix those issues and making Dapr better. That's really the beauty about open source in this community. So thank you very much for that.
Yep, thanks.
All right, let's move. Oh, and please, Mustafa, if you have any links to share, please drop them in the comments so we can people can check them out. And when this will be like published on YouTube later, I will also make sure that the links are in the description.
Sure, thanks, Mo.
All right. Okay, then let's continue with the community show and tell.
That was a really good use case.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I always like the end user cases in it. That's always great to see how people are using Dapr, and especially they use like a lot of different APIs, which is nice. And the distributed log, I don't hear that too often, so that's really cool. All right, so community show and tell. There's quite a lot of things happening in the community. So, for instance, these are the upcoming events. So, end of January next year, there's NDC London, and I'll be speaking there about reliable agentic systems need durable execution, which is like a heavy focus on workflow in AI, because these needs to be durable and reliable. Then in the next month, in February, early February, there is a Sweat Talk in Sweden, Stockholm, and Nico Vermeer will give a session about Aspire and Dapr. Well, you already mentioned it in your intro, Santosh. That's a very popular combination these days. So it's great to see more content about this. And then later in February, there's Container Days in London. And there, Mauricio Salaboy and Casper Borg-Nielsen will give a session about golden paths for async workflows. Dapr meets open telemetry. And I will give a session about decoupling your application code from your infrastructure with Dapr. So, and by the way, if you're watching this and you know of other Dapr sessions that are being given, please send them to me either via Discord, or you can mention it in underneath this YouTube video when it's published, because I would like to share, of course, as many different events where information is shared about Dapr.
Yeah, I've submitted a couple of them. I'm just waiting for the confirmation.
Oh, yeah. You were still waiting for the call for papers to be finalized. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once they're finalized, I need forward them to me, and I'll make sure I'll mention them indeed in these calls. Yeah, because that's really how we amplify to the community about Dapr, right? So Dapr is definitely growing a lot over the last years, but there's still quite some people who haven't really heard about Dapr, or they don't know that Dapr now has a workflow engine. So it's always good to inform people about this. Okay, regarding blog posts, we have quite a few. Fraser from Digrid posted a blog on the Dapr blog post about Dapr is a dev's best friend, how to convince your colleagues to use Dapr. And that is actually one which I wanted to write for a long time, because very frequently I get asked by people from, okay, we've heard about this Dapr, but is it really mature enough? How many other organizations are using it? So how can I indeed inform my manager that this is really a good, reliable tool to use? So that's now finally been put in a blog post, and that's really a data-driven blog post, right? That contains all kinds of references to CNCF case studies. It's also all about the graduation, the CNCF graduation of the Dapr project as well, and also refers to end user interviews. So it is really a data-driven blog post which highlights why Dapr is indeed a good and solid project to take a dependency on when you create microservices. Then there is one very important guide written by several of my colleagues and also some people from the community, by the way. So shout out to Alex Meng. That's the guide to running Dapr in production on Kubernetes. So if you follow this link, you can actually fill in your information and then download this PDF. I think it's like a 30-page PDF, so it's really quite extensive and gives you all kinds of detailed information on how to reliably run Dapr on Kubernetes. So definitely check that out. If you're interested in agent-to-agent communication with Dapr, check out this blog post by my colleague Bilgen. That's posted on LinkedIn. And then there are a couple of posts. So one is from Koran Bosamia about scalable IoT architecture using Dapr. There's also sort of a introduction to Dapr, but then more in the IoT landscape. Then Mauricio Salaboy wrote an in-depth guide to Dapr workflow patterns in Java and Spring Boot. So if you're a Java developer, definitely check that out. And finally, this was already from, I think, close to a month ago, but the News Stack published an article about the latest Dapr release, Dapr 1.16, but also about WebAssembly and how they both can be used for developing microservices. Okay, then let's switch over to the videos. You want to highlight these, Santosh?
Yeah, sure. So, people who are watching, if you guys are new to Dapr, so highly recommend to check out the Dapr Day, which happened on November 5th. So these are all the presentations from that Dapr Day. So I really liked the third one from Edward, where he connected both the Azure Container Apps, .NET Aspire, along with Dapr. And there are also like some of the use cases mentioned by other folks. And I also like Mark's presentation on failure is not an option. Definitely check that out as well. And if you guys are contributing or if you're using Dapr heavily, I highly recommend you guys to also submit submissions to the Dapr community day, so that you guys can also come and present it.
Yes, yeah. We do this every year, so there will be like a new Dapr Day event coming up next year. But if you can always send these sessions in earlier, right? Because we are always looking for speakers, just as Mustafa earlier today, to talk about end user case studies as well. Okay, we have more videos.
Yeah, more videos to come. So yeah, so I think the new features released from Dapr, right, mainly on the agentic workflows. So those are the new things that I would highly recommend everybody to try out. We also have a exclusive guide on how to use the Catalyst. So that's again a new feature from Dapr, and just go through all the videos from the Dapr Day. And if you have any questions, so we also are very active on Discord. There's a community for Dapr, so you can come in there, ask some questions, or get connected with the Diagrid team and other open source contributors to learn more about Dapr.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. And most of the videos were all from KubeCon in Atlanta, like 1.5 weeks ago. So they have all been published now. This one was for Cloud Native University, so not KubeCon, but still in the CNCF ecosystem. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's a lot of stuff about agentic AI and durability and workflow. So yeah, good videos to check out. Just some screenshots I took from mostly from LinkedIn. One of the other Dapr meteors created like a guide, like a LinkedIn course for .NET on Azure. So definitely check that out. And again, also the post from you, which I screenshotted about becoming a Dapr meteor. I shared some stuff about KubeCon, how it went. One of my colleagues, Anita, was sharing about a new release of Dapr agents that has just come out. So definitely check that. So yeah, a lot of buzz around Dapr in different areas. So yeah, you're already watching this, so you're already part of the Dapr community, but you can be more involved if you want in the Dapr community. Santosh already mentioned it. There's a very large Dapr Discord where you can go to get some answers. But if you're very experienced, you can also help out there and answer questions. There is like a small group of very active people in the community. Santos is one of them. It's called the Dapr Meteors. So twice a year, there's like a self-nomination round, and then all of the Dapr community managers will review those. So if you want to become a Dapr Meteor, definitely check this out. We're doing the community calls every month now, and we're always looking for speakers. So maybe you're like a Dapr end user, or you created a nice demo for your Dapr talk, and you want to do like a preview of your talk here. Feel free to do that. And we also have like a lot of presentation material if you want to do Dapr presentations. So this actually goes to the Dapr docs, and we have like a very big slide deck about Dapr in general, but there's also a dedicated slide deck about Dapr workflow and also Dapr agents. And finally, if you contribute to Dapr, and that can be contributions to the SDKs or to the runtime, or maybe you're giving a presentation or you write something about Dapr, then you can collect these Dapr badges. So please do that. And talking about badges, whoa, I didn't want to do that. This is the Dapr badge that you actually can collect right now by being a Dapr community supporter.
Yeah, let me tell you guys, this Dapr HoloPens looks really good on your GitHub profile. So collect as many as possible and showcase it on your profiles.
So how many do you have now on your profile?
I have like 5, yeah.
Oh, that's a lot already. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I don't think I have 5 even already. I don't know. Maybe I didn't claim them all, but we do a lot of need for our community. And it's great to see more people involved and share knowledge about Dapr. All right. I think that's it. Originally there was like another case study for today, but unfortunately we had to reschedule that, so that will happen in January. So please be back on January for the next Dapr community call. And don't be shy. Say hi on Discord. And until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.